Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Strategy of the Week for Friday, June 7th, 2013. You are listening to Dan Misch, and I'm the Director of Retirement Services here for VectorVest, and I'm happy to present this week's strategy, which we've titled Colt 45 Automated. We have a few objectives we're going to go through tonight for our Colt 45 Automated strategy, the first of which is to review the Colt 45 criteria which Steve Chappell outlined for us last week. Then we're going to describe how we built a new search, which we'll unveil for you tonight in the VectorVest 7 for Canada program, titled Colt 45 Automated. And we are going to test and discuss the results of both of these methodologies. To review how the Colt 45 stock picking method came into play, you can look back in the VectorVest views on March the 15th of this year when Dr. DeLito unveiled the Cherry Pickers Challenge. And we had many submissions sent in to us where our subscribers were getting paid if we liked their submission. And one of those that came in was titled Colt 45, and the Colt in Colt 45 stands for Character of Line Trends. And really what this subscriber was doing was taking the graph setup we use for our Midas Touch for gold picking and using it for individual stocks. So on the graphic in front of you, you can see that we would like to have the 10-day moving average on the stop price of a stock, as well as the 65-day moving average on the stop of that stock, moving up and also moving up at a 45-degree angle, hence the name Colt 45. For confirmation on those stocks, we also want to see the 40-day moving average on the relative timing also moving up and also going up at that 45-degree angle. And we had our first strategy of the week for the U.S. using this Colt 45 on March the 28th, just a couple weeks after we issued the challenge. We also automated the Colt 45 process in the U.S. database a little bit after that on May the 10th of this year, so you can go back and review those strategies as well. Just for review, here's what our subscriber was looking for in his Colt 45 graph analysis. First, the market must be in a confirmed up situation, and that's key. It cannot be overlooked. We want to identify these rising stocks in a rising market, and that confirmed up tells us just that. The 10-day must be above the 65-day, and the 40-day on the relative timing must be greater than 1. Keep in mind that the RT is always cast on that scale from 0 to 2, and we want to see it above that neutral line of 1. And finally, all three of those moving averages must be hitting 3-month highs. And this is for the original Colt 45. We're going to make a few changes to it as we automate this process this evening. So the first thing we're going to do is move over into the program and just take a look at that graph setup. We've got us in the VectorVest 7 program. We're in the Viewers tab, and underneath watch lists, if I open the group labeled TSX, the two watch lists that we're going to use this evening are the TSX Venture 50 and the TSX 60. So as we combine the two of those together, we'll be looking for stocks from a maximum of 110 and whittling that down to meet our criteria. So here's the list of stocks as of today, but remember, we must have a confirmed up situation in order to do our analysis, and we are in a confirmed down in Canada. We have been since April. So I'm going to change our calendar back to the confirmed up, which was issued on January the 10th of this year. And now if I just take the top 10 stocks and we'll put them on a graph. This graph layout is in what's called the Midas Touch, which you all have access to. And I simply need to change our date range we're looking at so the date stops on the issuance of that confirmed down in January. And going back 3 months from there would take us to October the 10th. You can see in the bottom right corner we have 3 months. And on the graph, the green line is the 10-day moving average. The red line is the 65-day. And the subgraph down below, shown as an area graph, is the 40-day moving average on relative timing. So our first stock right here, CP, fits all of the criteria. Obviously, we are in a confirmed up on January the 10th. The 10's above the 65. The moving average is up above 1, and all three of those lines are hitting new 3-month highs. So that would have been a selection for you. Same story with MG down below. MRU has the 10-day rolling over a little bit, so it may not be one you look at. On top of that, the RT is not hitting a new 3-month high. So that's the original Colt 45 process, and what Steve did last week was go through every stock that was in the TSX 60, and he also used a different watch list, the Wow Value and Growth, and he had fantastic results. But it takes quite a bit of time to look at every single graph for all of the stocks contained in those watch lists. So again, the title tonight is Colt 45 Automated. Let me take you over into the Unisearch tool and show you this new search we have for you. And here we are with the new search labeled Colt 45 Automated. That is located in the cherry picking folder. I also want to point out that because we are using moving averages as part of our search criteria, you would need to own the Pro Trader module in order to see or operate this search in your version of VectorVest. If you would like to take out a trial or take advantage of one of the offers we have for you on Pro Trader, please just call our offices. We'll show you the phone number at the end of this video. So let's go through the parameters for Colt 45 Automated. First and foremost, we are looking at the stock watch list that is equal to the TSX 60 and the TSX Venture 50. So once again, our total universe has been whittled down already to a maximum of 110 stocks, and we're only going to select the ones that have those moving averages doing what we want them to do. Second, the volume must be greater than 0. We want to see that we have stocks that are actually trading. The average volume over the last 50 days must be greater than or equal to 50,000 shares. We want to ensure some liquidity. The stock industry group must not be equal to ETF's inverse. Since we're buying stocks long in a confirmed up, we do want to eliminate any of those short ETFs. Our stock price must be greater than or equal to $1. And here's where we get to the Pro Trader portion of this search. Here's the stock's 10-day moving average on the stop, saying it must be greater than the 65-day. And that 10-day must also be greater than it was 13 weeks ago. So as opposed to the original Colt 45, which states that we're looking for a new high in the past 3 months, this one just has to be higher than it was 3 months ago. And a similar story for the 65-day MA, it must also be higher than it was 13 weeks or 3 months ago. The 40-day moving average must be greater than 1, and that 40-day moving average on RT must be higher than 13 weeks ago. So all of these moving average working in favor for us give us that chance of finding a rising stock in that confirmed up market. On top of meeting all these parameters we just outlined, the sort we have for this search is the value divided by the price. So we're going to find stocks with the highest value and lowest price, or we're going to find the most undervalued stocks we can that are all moving up in this fashion in that confirmed up. So once again, I've set our date calendar back to January the 10th, the issuance of that confirmed up, and clicking on Run Search, I have it set to display the top 100 stocks right now. But on this day, it only finds 20 stocks out of all 110 that we were fishing from. Now let's do a few tests with this search and this sort as it stands, and then we'll compare it to the original Colt 45 setup. So first I'm just going to come up here and let's quick test the top 10 positions. Now I have our quick test set to run from January, the confirmed up, till April, the confirmed down. Out of the 10 positions, we have 9 winners and 1 loser, and the one losing stock is down just a little over 4%. But this basket of 10 performed very well in that 3-month time frame, giving us over a 9% gain, and that's versus the VectorVest composite for Canada having just about 1/3% during that same time frame. So we're handily beating the market, and if we could continue that performance for the entire year, that's a 41% annual rate of return. And just to show how robust this search can be, let's go ahead and quick test all of them. And remember, there was only 20 in this search on this date. Now out of 20 positions, we have 16 winners and 4 losers. Your big winners are still at the top, and you do have a few stocks that have dropped more than 20% over that time frame. But we're going to take a look at how we may have eliminated some of those symbols from our selection criteria. So staying on the same date, I am just going to pull up a graph of every stock. And once again, I've already set our date calendar for that 3-month time frame that we're looking for heading into January the 10th. So here's our first stock, symbol MG, and it does have the 10-day moving up, the 65-day moving up, obviously the 10's above the 65. The 40-day moving average on RT is also above 1 and moving up. So not only does this fit Colt 45 automated, it would have been one of the positions selected using the original Colt 45 setup. BNS does have the 10 above the 65 and the 40-day moving average moving up. However, it looks like the 10-day is starting to roll over a little bit. And if I change this to a crosshair cursor, you can see that right there at the peak, this moving average was at 53.08. And on the 10th, it had come down a little to 53.06, so we would eliminate that one from contention. NA looks good on the top of the graph. However, the RT on the bottom is not hitting a new 3-month high, so we'll skip it. TELUS Corp has the 10-day rolling over, as well as the relative timing moving down. BMO looks good. It is moving up. And if you look 3 months ago, this moving average on RT was at 1.09, and on the 10th it was at 1.10, slightly higher, but we would select that stock as well. RCI, nope, because of the RT rolling over. SAP does have everything going for it. We'll keep that one in the list. And I've gone ahead and gone through the remainder of these stocks. And looking back at our original list, I'll go ahead and highlight just those symbols. By clicking on the first one, MG, holding down the Control key on my keyboard, I can select BMO, SAP, CP, ENB, BAM, L, TRP, and AYA. And if I quick test just those selected positions, out of those 9 stocks, we have 9 winners, 0 losers, giving us a very nice overall gain of over 6.5%. That is still compared to the same market average of 0.35. Our annual rate of return is at nearly 30%, and you can see you've got just a great list of stocks all moving up. So the Colt 45 method has proven to be a very good strategy for us for cherry picking stocks. You now have this in the VectorVest system as an automated process, which you can use as a standalone, or you can combine the two methods together. We are going to continue to work with the Colt 45 process. We encourage you to do the same. Any of your results that you wish to share with us, please call the number on your screen. And again, if you have questions about tonight's strategy or how you can get your own version of ProTrader, also please call the number on your screen. Thank you for joining us this week.